Good morning YouTubians, it's Chemist Ghost. I apologise for any bad sound in this part of the video because I forgot my lapel microphone this morning. I'm on the seafront, quite mild, next to a Christmas tree graveyard, and there's a street opposite I'm about to go in because I want to show a fellow YouTuber something. But before I get onto that, it is a Blu-ray release Monday. Nothing out for me. I'm going to head up to HMV and see what's on the shelves, but I will show you about 6 or 7 titles, some that I got for Christmas, some for my birthday, and I have watched everything I'm going to show you. But I'm going to talk about boot scrapes. Yes, boot scrapes. In the road opposite, I noticed some the other day, and a fellow YouTuber, Mike from Chicago, Movie Edge, sent me a link to a video which showed boot scrapes, and he asked me if I'd seen them before, and I said yeah, they're quite commonplace in an old city like this. Before roads, modern roads were built, they had like dirt tracks for horse and carts. Obviously you didn't want to tread mud into your house, so they had boot scrapes on the outside. You're not going to find them in modern cities like Milton Keynes or anything like that, but a city like this you will with these old buildings. So I'm going to show you those, and then I'm going to head to HMV and grab a coffee as well, not a sponsor. So I'll show you the boot scrapes over the road and then HMV. I'll see you all in a bit.
Okay, so while no one's around, I'll quickly pop up these stairs here and I'll show you. This is an example of a freestanding boot scrape which we used if the building entrance was at or close to street level. As I go further up the street, I'll show you a few at the base of the stairs, and they were probably built straight into the pillars. So we'll go up here and see, here's another one. This is still reasonably close to the street level. These are probably now protected under the grade listing of these fine houses. So as I go further up the street, there's an entrance here where we've got stairs, which means that the scrapers would be built into the pillars of the buildings themselves. There you go. I'll give you a little example. Scrape your shoe. That's not my crap that's come off the shoe. Anyway, boot scrapers started to appear in the 1700s at the entrance of usually affluent buildings and businesses. By the time tarmac was introduced as a material for roads, these boot scrapers started to disappear. The inventor of tarmac was Mr. Edgar Hooley, and he invented the product in 1902. So these were well in use for over 100 years, and this particular street was constructed in 1855, so there's quite a few of them up and down the street. Like I said, it would be a grade listed building, so these will probably be intact and they won't be allowed to cover them up. So here I am in a different Costa from my usual today, and as it turns out I chose poorly, as this Costa is very busy and very noisy. Coffee was lovely though, well, as it should be for that price. So into HMV to see what's been released this week, and what is on the mannequin? Well, it's My Little Pony once again. The first of the new releases is Pet Sematary Bloodlines. It's a prequel to the first film set 50 years prior. Judd, who is played by Fred Gwynne, now played by Jackson White. This also stars David Duchovny and Pam Grier. This was originally put out on Paramount Plus and is priced at $14.99. Or of course you have the option of DVD, and that is priced at £9.99. Next is The Frightened Woman, also known as The Laughing Woman. It's an Italian erotic thriller. It's about a fantasy that goes wrong when a boss drugs his secretary and has his way. It's also a scene that must have influenced Patch Adams. Check out the trailer. Next is the cult spaghetti western set comprising of Django from 1966 with Franco Nero as a title character, A Bullet for the General, also from 1966, and Chioma from 1976, again with Franco Nero as the title character. $29.99 for these 3 movies today. So next we have a supernatural horror called The Exorcist Believer, which came out in October last year. This is directed by David Gordon Green, the man behind the last 3 Halloween movies. Now, this is the first part of a trilogy, and the upcoming sequel titled Exorcist Deceiver is due out next year. It's rumoured that the director may be replaced though. Now the Blu-ray is priced at $14.99 and the 4K Steelbook is priced at $29.99, and they both come with a 15 certificate. Or you can plumb for the regular 4K release, which comes at $24.99, and this does come with a slipcover. Or of course you can go for the DVD, which is priced at the standard $9.99. This does not come with a slipcover. Also out today is Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches, a TV show that stars the stunning Alexandra Daddario. And this is based in the same universe as the TV show Interview with the Vampire, and this has been renewed for a 2nd season. The Blu-ray is priced at $19.99, whereas the DVD is priced at $17.99, so there's not a lot in it, and there is no 4K release for this one today. Next is the 4K release of Planet Earth 3, presented by Sir David Attenborough, and there are 8 subjects in this, and it's coasts, oceans, deserts and grasslands, fresh water, forests, extremes, humans, and finally heroes. And the last of the new releases this week is The Jester, which is about a masked jester who is played by Michael Sheffield, who is terrorising a small town at Halloween, in particular two sisters who have recently lost their father. This is priced at $12.99, which seems very reasonably priced for a new release. Hey everybody, welcome back. So there's quite a lot to get through, as you can see, so I'm just going to crack straight on with it. Okay, before I show you those films, I want to say a thank you to Big Paulie. I'll put a link to his channel down below. A few weeks ago, he picked up a film. When he got back, he realised he already had it, but I noticed there was a slipcover on there that I was missing. I asked him if he would send it my way, and he kindly did. And here it is today. And it is for My Neighbour Totoro, a Studio Ghibli film. And here's my film, minus the slipcover. So, beautiful. Step in the right direction. Thank you very much, Paul. Okay, also want to say a thank you to Jamie and Katie Powell. They sent me a birthday card. It was my birthday on the 2nd of January. I did want to mention it on the channel. I did want to draw attention to it. I turned 56, and that's why. So the card says, what do you do if a bird craps on your windscreen? And the answer is, don't ask her out again. Typical Jamie Powell humour. Dirty boy. Okay, I'll put a picture up of that in the corner there. It says, to dearest Alan, happy birthday, thank you for being a wonderful friend, all I love, Jamie and Katie. And it's got the signature Jamie Powell drawing there of one of the Ninja Turtles. So thank you to Jamie and Katie. They also sent me 2 films, and there's a note as well from the Amazon delivery, which I will go and find. And here it is. I'll put it up in the corner. A little note from Amazon. It says, a gift from Jamie and Katie. Hello, Sir Alan of Kermit's the Ghost, located Brighton of England. Happy 75th birthday. I'm not that old, cheeky sod. Old chap, hope it's a jolly good one. Thanks for being a great friend. And sorry, this is a couple of days late. All I love, kiss kiss, Jamie and Katie. Well, you didn't have to send me anything in the first place, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I will talk about those films in amongst these titles. First film I'm going to show you is The Ritual Killer. It's a thriller from last year, directed by George Gallo. His films include The Poison Rose, Vanquish and The Comeback Trail. All 3 of those films star Morgan Freeman, and so does this one. In this, Morgan is playing Dr. Mackles, who teaches African culture at a local college, and it's Mackles' expertise that's called upon by a detective, Lucas Boyd, who's being played by Cole Hauser, and you'll know him from the TV show Yellowstone, where he played Rip. Boyd is investigating a serial killer who's murdering seamlessly random people, mainly young children and teenagers, and these murders are linked to Muti, which is a form of African black magic. He removes their eyes, left hand, that kind of thing. He's also killing a lot of police officers as well, who are trying to either arrest him or investigate him. Now, Boyd, in the meantime, is dealing with the loss of his daughter and his wife, and as a result, he drinks on duty, and his state of mind is a little bit less than on par. There's also a twist in the story, but I'm not going to say what it is, but I will say it's got a very strange ending. It also stars Vernon Davis, American footballer, former American footballer, and Peter Stormare as well. You may know from Armageddon. He was that Russian cosmonaut, or in Minority Report as well. He's that eye surgeon. This one's got a runtime of 92 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So this was a German import, and it does have a reversible cover with the Age logo removed, and that front cover image has been put onto the disc. So that was The Ritual Killer. Next is Decision at Sundown. It's a western from 1957 directed by Bud Bodicha. His films include The Tall T, Buchanan Rides Alone, Comanche Station and Ride Lonesome, all of which are in my collection. All star Randolph Scott. This is no exception. See, Scott appeared in over 60 westerns in his career. In this, Scott is playing Bart Allison, who rides into the small town of Sundown in order to get revenge on Tate Kimbrough, who's being played by John Carroll. He believes Tate abducted his wife and then threw her aside when he got bored. In reality, she went on her own accord. Tate kind of runs the town. He's rich, he's powerful, he's got the sheriff in his pocket. Safe to say he's a bit of a bully, and the townsfolk bend to his every whim. Just so happens that Bart and his sidekick Sam, who's being played by Noah Berry Jr., who played Jim Rockford's father in Rockford Files, they're in town at the same time as Tate is getting married to Lucy Summerton, who's being played by Karen Still. Talking of Rockford, she played Molly Gleeson in the TV show Maverick alongside James Gardner, and she was also in Ride Lonesome with Scott. It's a small world, but anyway, I'm digressing. Lots of deals are made, a few shootouts, the townspeople change their loyalties, and mistakes are realised. There's a lot going on in this film. Not the greatest western, but it kept me entertained long enough. This one's got a runtime of 1 hour 17 minutes. Let's take a look inside. There is a different image on the disc to the front cover, and on the reverse of the cover there are other titles advertised. So that was Decision at Sundown. Okay, next one to show you is Escape from Fort Bravo. This one's a western from 1953 directed by John Sturges. His films include The Gunfight at the OK Corral, The Magnificent Seven and The Eagle Has Landed, to name but a few. Simple enough story, this one. It starts out in Fort Bravo, which is controlled by the Union Army, and this, by the way, takes place in 1863, so midway through the American Civil War. You've got a Captain Roper, played by William Holden, who falls in love with Eleanor Parker's character, Carla Forstairs, who's actually travelling to the fort under pretenses. She pretends to help with the wedding, but she's actually there to free some Confederate prisoners. And even though she falls in love with Roper, she still goes ahead with the breakout because she's got this kind of love interest and romantic connection with the leader of the Confederates, Captain John Marsh, being played by William Forsythe, who you may know was in Scrooged, where he played the equivalent of the Jacob Marley character, Lou Hayward. He was also the voice of Charlie in Charlie's Angels as well. Anyway, just outside the fort, the open area is patrolled by Native Americans, and when the Captain Roper heads out with his 6 troops to retrieve his love interest and the escaped prisoners, Roper knows at this point that she played him. He has no option but to arm the prisoners in order to survive. Enjoyable enough film. Picture quality on this was awful. Absolutely, it was like VHS quality in places, but the studio shots were quite clear. It's got a runtime, this one, of 1 hour 38 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So you've got a plain Blu-ray disc and a double eco case. I'd say this film was about 60% VHS quality, so if you have the DVD, I'd stick with that. So that was Escape from Fort Bravo. Next 2 films are kindly given to me by Jamie and Katie Powell. Links to their channels will be down in the description below. Go and check them out. First title is Genius. It's a biographical drama from 2016 directed by Michael Grandage, whose only other film was My Policeman, which was made 6 years later. This film starts out in New York, 1929, and it tells of the editor Maxwell Perkins, who's being played by Colin Firth, and his relationship with the writer Thomas Wolfe, who's being played by Jude Law. Maxwell discovers Thomas's writing, and he becomes more than impressed with it, and he decides he's going to publish it. The first book is titled Look Homeward Angel, which is a coming-of-age story, somewhat autobiographical, and it's a huge deal because the publishing company Scribner's have the likes of Ernest Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald on their books. In the field, Hemingway is played by Dominic West and Fitzgerald is being played by Guy Pearce. Scribner's, by the way, has been going since 1864 and still in operation today. Now, the film shows the turbulence of Maxwell and Thomas's close friendship during the rise to fame and when he's trying to finalise his second book, as well as when illness strikes, resulting in Thomas's untimely death. Also stars Nicole Kidman as Arlene Bernstein, married older woman that Thomas was seeing, and Laura Linney as Maxwell's wife Louise. You've also got Vanessa Kirby in this as well as Zelda Fitzgerald. Very good dialogue heavy movie. If you like biographical films, you're going to probably enjoy this one. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 44 minutes. Let's take a look inside. The image from the front cover has been put onto the disc. And this is a German release, but unfortunately there is no reversible image. So that was Genius. Okay, the other title from the Powells is Igor. It's an animated comedy horror from 2008. Story follows John Cusack's character of Igor. He's a hunchback assistant to an evil scientist. There are many Igors in this land. They all have the same role, to assist an evil scientist. Our Igor wants more from life. He wants to be the main attraction, the big cheese if you like, and his first job is assisting the incompetent Dr. Glickenstein, who's being voiced by John Cleese. Igor works alongside the Brain, voiced by Sean Hayes, and a sarcastic rabbit called Scamper, being voiced by Steve Buscemi. Every year there's a ceremony for best evil invention, and that's what the country's income depends upon. There's a whole background story as to why, but I'm not going to go into it. There's not long before Dr. Glickenstein has an accident which kills him, and leaving Igor to take over his role. And one of the participants in the ceremony is a Dr. Schadenfreude, being voiced by Eddie Izzard, aka Susie Izzard. He's a fake scientist, steals everybody's ideas, passing them off as his own, that kind of person. His girlfriend is a shapeshifter who helps him steal all these ideas, voiced by Jennifer Coolidge, and his Igor is voiced by Christian Slater. Our Igor creates a female type Frankenstein monster called Eva, who is very sweet, literally wouldn't and doesn't hurt a fly. Inspiring to be an actress as well. Eva is voiced by Molly Shannon. Actually, I won't say anymore. Obviously, very good, overcomes very evil in this. Animation is good for its time. You can definitely see how it's come forward and improved with age. Oh, almost forgot to mention there's a leader called King Malbert who's voiced by Jay Leno. Looks exactly the same as the mayor in Halloween Town in A Nightmare Before Christmas, which was made 11 years before this one. This one's got a runtime 1 hour 27 minutes. A lot of fun. Let's take a look inside. There's a close-up image of Igor, who is voiced by John Cusack, on the disc. And this was a German import, but again, no reversible cover. So that was Igor. Thank you very much, Jamie and Katie. Really enjoyed these two films. Okay, next and last is Blackadder, the complete box set, minus of course the pilot episode, although in the extras there are some extracts of that pilot episode, and the pilot story was actually used on the second episode of the first series titled Born to be King. So the first series, and they all contain 6 episodes apiece. The first series was known as Blackadder, which was written by Richard Curtis and Rowan Atkinson, and that aired in 1983. The second series, titled Blackadder 2, which aired in 1986, written by Richard Curtis and Ben Elton, and from that point on they stick with Richard and Ben as the writers. Series 3, which was titled Blackadder the Third, which aired in 1987, and the fourth and final series was called Blackadder Goes Forth, which aired in 1989. I'm going to assume you all know the story premise. If not, it basically follows the character of Blackadder and his companion Baldric through the ages. That's all you need to know, really. This set also contains many extras, as well as the 3 specials. You've got Blackadder's Christmas Carol, which is brilliant, the Cavalier Years, and Back and Forth, as well as Baldric's Diaries. There's also a great feature that runs for almost an hour, and it's about the cast talking about the progress of the show over the series. Well worth checking out. But what I will say, the picture quality on this is not very good at all. It's 1080i, so it's not full high definition, which is a shame. It's the best we got though, so if you're a fan you'll probably want it in your collection. On a side note, I've got to say I love this show, and my favourite character in this is Stephen Fry. Amongst others, he plays General Melchett in Blackadder Goes Forth. It's the noises that he constantly makes. So I ask you, who is your favourite character from the show? And there are a fair few to choose from. This has got a runtime of 852 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So if you move the outer box, this is a lovely box, a bit flimsy, but it's got a lovely image on the front, all the extras and information you need on the back, and there is the spine. So on the inside, the spine is recreated there, and it is a gatefold box set, which I'll open it up first to show you what's inside. So on the inside there are 7 discs, and when you consider there are 4 seasons, it gives you an idea how many extras are actually incorporated in this box set. So that was Blackadder, the complete collection. Now if you're thinking of upgrading and you have the DVD set of this and you're quite happy with that, I'd stick with the DVD set because this isn't much of an improvement, if at all. So that was it. Have you seen any of those, plan to pick them up, or just want to leave a comment, and do so down below. I will read every single one and try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free, why wouldn't you? On that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one.